Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, wanted to get into this, and I know I might be very late because the video that I'm making, the video that gave me the idea to make this video, came out roughly 11 days ago. I just never saw it. I never saw the video, but I saw it recently, and I feel compelled to make a video about it. So if you guys didn't see it, on March 2nd on Fight Hub TV, Nazim Richardson, great trainer, guy's been in boxing for a very long time, seen a lot of world-class talent, knows a thing or two about the sweet science of boxing. So with that being said, they are asking about Deontay Wilder, right? And I thought he dropped some gems because I think he brought up some valid points about Wilder that I think I've just never considered. So it was good to hear his perspective on a guy that I know I've given a lot of criticism to, that I know a lot of people give a lot of criticism to. Even when he beat Ortiz, he's still got criticism. He's still getting criticism from fighters and some fans for that fight. So with that being said, he made a pretty bold statement about Wilder. Now I'm not going to say that I agree with it, but I could definitely see his point of view. He said in the video that Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder, might just be the most gifted heavyweight fighter since the Ali era. Pretty bold statement, since the Ali era, And I don't know if I agree with that, because of the simple fact that, you look at young prime Mike Tyson, I think he had more gifts. I'm talking about natural gifts than Wilder had, which is why he became the youngest heavyweight champion of all time and undisputed champion of all time. But that's just my opinion. But I could definitely see his point. He was saying that, people keep saying that. So, he was saying that, this opponent was better than Wilder. That opponent was better than Wilder. Well, guess what? Everyone skill-wise is better than Wilder, but he made the point of saying, don't you guys understand that it doesn't matter? It doesn't matter if they're better than him technically. His gifting is so great, and when he's speaking about his gifting, he's talking about the fact that he's a guy. He's a natural-born puncher. They say punchers aren't made; they're born. Wilder was a born knockout artist. He has power you cannot teach. Power that really that you get from God. Literally, God gave him that right hand to put people out like that. You can't teach his kind of power. So he was saying Wilder's gifting was so great because he started boxing later on as a teen, and speaking as someone who picked up boxing at the age of 18. The later you pick up boxing life, the harder it is. And he picked up boxing around 17, 18 or whatever it was. I might have even been a little older than that. And he was able to parlay the little boxing experience he had into getting a bronze medal in the Olympics, which is very hard to do. I interviewed Calvin Brock, former heavyweight contender, a guy who made the Olympic team in 2000, and he beat it into my head. He said, BT, Wilder won the Olympic. Wilder won a medal without even having 3 years boxing experience, and then that's where he made the comparison of Wilder to George Foreman, and that was 2 years ago before any of this, before he got the Ortiz win, when he was still pretty much a paper champion. So with that being said, he just talked about the fact that Wilder, with his power, with his God-given punching power, has been able to show people that, hey, this guy might be more skilled than me, and this guy might be more, he might be more faster than me, but I got that power. I know how to get you out of there. And he's shown that so far in his career. So you got to give him credit where credit is due. He also went on to say that, Wilder does a good job of keeping himself in shape. He's really tall and lean like those NBA players, and he is. Oh, never mind. Okay, but like I was saying, he's really tall and lean like those NBA players, and just overall with his career, I'm not going to say he's the most gifted fighter since the Ali era. And I don't want to say that he's this incredibly great fighter, but you got to give Wilder credit where credit's due. The guy picked up boxing later in life. The guy just fought, you know, and we don't know how old Luis Ortiz was, but we do know that Luis Ortiz, probably one of the best amateur heavyweights in terms of heavyweights, probably one of the better amateur heavyweights who ever lived. Wilder fought that guy. You know, he experienced a lot of adversity. You know, he probably could have the referee probably could have waved it off in the 7th round. So that's where the controversy lies. But at the same time, he was able to persevere through that and get him out of there in those later rounds. So he showed that he has the stamina, he has the focus, he has the mental fortitude to, hey, you know, like just basically just overall will through pressure moments and situations. So, most gifted fighter of the Ali era, since the Ali era, I would say no. I would say the most gifted fighter since the Ali era was Mike Tyson. I think Mike Tyson was the most gifted fighter, heavyweight fighter since the Ali era, because honestly I'm talking about the pre-prison Mike Tyson, the defensive abilities he showed, the ability to at times outbox guys who had 6, 7, 8-inch reach advantage on him, inside fighting, jabbing your way on the inside, defensively what he was able to do, counter punching as well. You know, I just think that's the most gifted boxer, heavyweight boxer since the Ali era. But if you paint it the way Nazim painted it, I could see what he's saying. For a guy to pick up boxing as late as he did in life, to have such little amateur experience, to now get to the pros and you're fighting guys like Luis Ortiz with all the amateur experience in the world, and your gift being your power in your right hand, your gift's been so great that you were still able to win a fight like that. So I definitely see what he was saying. Obviously, he was saying that actually because that video came out 2 days before the Wilder fight. So he was saying that before, which makes it even more impressive that he was able to make those points. But I'll leave it for you guys in the comments down below. I personally don't think that it's a bad assessment. I don't think it's a bad assessment. I think it's fair. Don't agree with it, but I think it's fair. And Nazim Richardson isn't the kind of trainer or fighter who he's a fan of boxing. You know, I've talked to him. We've talked off camera before. You know, he's a fan of boxing. And he's someone that, for a fact, I know he loves all the fighters, and he appreciates all the fighters, and he can see everything with a very, very broad perspective because of the simple fact that he's been in boxing for so long. He's seen so many fighters, so he's got insight into boxing that me at 23 years old, who didn't train all these world champions, just doesn't have. So, you know, big shouts out to Nazim Richardson. Go check out the video down below. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that Deontay Wilder is the most gifted heavyweight fighter since the Ali era in terms of, we're not saying the best, mind you. You got to differentiate. Not the best, but the most gifted in terms of what he was given and what he's been doing with what he was given. You know, is he the most gifted? I don't think so, but Nazim seems to think so. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single video, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.